That question has become more important on the back of a recent security breach at the Electoral Commission, especially as Ghana goes to the polls in only about 7 months. I am Kemini Amano, and in this edition, my guest is Director of Electoral Services at the EC, Dr. Serebour Quaicoe. Thanks for sitting with us here on Hot Issues.
Thank you very much.
Indeed. Some electoral watchers have argued that the Electoral Commission is setting the stage for distrust and mistrust towards the 2024 elections. How do you react to that?
If you can give me the reasons, why are they saying so?
Well, when we look at events in the last few days, when the voter registration exercise began, we know that you had to go offline. We've also heard the banters between you and the opposition, and also between you and the policy think tank, Imani Africa. It's given reason for some people to think that you're setting yourself up for mistrust and distress.
I don't know, and I don't want to accept that conclusion. If you are talking of the challenges with respect to registration, it was not aimed at a particular political party. The difficulty of the connectivity has nothing to do with any political party. They were prevailing in all the regions, so I understand that, or I don't accept that. If you are talking of banter with the NDC, we haven't had any banter. They requested for something, and we said for security reasons, we cannot give it to them. So I don't think that is any form of banter. Then if you talk of the Imani, they have talked about our process of procurement, our process of disposal of the BVDs, and recently the SAR. So in each case, we explained our position, and the Commission thinks that it has not done anything wrong. So either they don't understand the process, they just want to be mischievous. We don't think that we have committed any crime.
Does the Commission worry that this could be the beginning of casting doubt on its ability to deliver a credible election?
Anybody who has followed elections will appreciate that these are not, even just in 2020, there were a lot of issues when we decided to go for a new biometric voter registration activity. There were a lot of issues, but you and I will tell me, we agree that when we did it, it was a successful activity. That currently we have one of the best BVDs in the world in terms of the speed and accuracy in determining voters and the rest. So for us, posterity will judge us.
On the back of that, what do you say to people who say, even limited voter registration exercise, we are having problems and going offline? How much more when we are in the thick of things in December of 2024?
The first thing that I want people to know that offline is part of the registration process, so it's not something new. And if you talk of 2020, we did more offline than online, because the further you are from the district office, the difficulty, the stronger will be the difficulty of getting connectivity. So in 2020, I would say it was about 90% offline, if not more than 90%. 2023, we did it at the offices, we supported that with offline. So offline has always been part of our registration process.
So I take it as for all that has been happening, the Commission is not worried about delivering a credible election at all.
If you're focused and you know where you are heading to, you don't get distracted. Because you know that at the end of the day, everybody will come on board and the truth will prevail.
Okay, so let's tackle a few things. After the first 2 days of the voter registration exercise, you went offline.
Yes.
You're back online now.
Combination of two.
A combination
Where
of
there are
two.
difficulties with respect to connectivity, you use offline. Where you have reliable connectivity, you go online. And at times you yourself, your phone, and even at your office, at times you find difficult making calls. So when the internet is creating problem for you, you go offline. So as I said, it has always been part of our registration process.
So as you have explained to us before, once you are online, you are not able to sync your data.
Yes.
Right.
No, once you are offline,
you're not able to sync your data.
You're right.
So anytime you come online, you sync your data and you're able to determine where problems are.
No, the online is live, real time. But when you do offline, you rather export the data to the data center.
Right.
And the data center will do the duplication. So it will be matching every individual data with the data that is already in the system.
Which is where I want us to go.
Yes.
Have you seen any irregularities from your offline data collected during the exercise yet?
I don't understand you are. When electoral, you want to talk about regularity, it's different from maybe the way you want to put it.
I guess so.
Yes.
So have you seen any?
So we can say, have you seen any multiple registration?
Multiple?
Yes, because that's it, the difference, the major difference is that offline will allow multiple registration, online will not allow.
Yeah, so what I'm asking is, have you seen any?
Of the multiple registration?
Yes.
The answer is yes.
How many of them have you seen?
I don't have it offhand, but we have had some of them.
Okay.
Anytime you go offline, you will get some.
I see. So, how have you dealt with that?
No, so the process, let me take you to the process so that you appreciate it. When we finish with the registration, the system will do duplication. It will pick every voter's biometrics and match with the other biometrics. So now we have about 17.9. So if your data hits the process, it will match with the other. That's why when you are doing online, the moment you put your hands on, your previous data will pop up because it matched and detected that you are already there. Then it will pop up. So in the same vein, when you do offline, you export the data into the system. The system is automatically will do the duplication. Then it will isolate or it will flag all the existing voters that they think have done more than one. Right? Mm-hmm. So when it does the duplication, it flags the suspected multiple registration. We quarantine them, we print them, then we do what we call adjudication. The adjudication is that some of the reps of the political parties, automatically MPP and DC will be there. Mm-hmm. Then other parties will also bring about 3 people. Then Electoral Commission will come with reps. Then the civil society, some of them will also come with reps. They will sit at a table like this, printed document about the multiple registration. So if Kimani has registered more than 5 times, it will put out your fingerprints, your data, the time, the attire you wear, all the 5 will come. Then the committee will sit, they'll look at it, then we agree that this one is Kimani. The system has flagged, but we also say that we agree that it's not an error. Then we also say that this one that it's multiple. Then the system will it will quarantine you. You are in the system, but you are not active.
Has that process begun?
No, we haven't.
You haven't?
It's after we are finished with the registration.
After you finish with the entire registration?
What has started is the adjudication of the challenge system. Those who were challenged the cost of registering. That one, we have the district registration review committee. It is also made up of the district officer of the Electoral Commission as a secretary, district police commander or his rep, district data verification or his rep, the traditional head of the place or his rep, and reps of the other political parties. So they will sit, constitute a committee called District Registration Review Committee, DRRC. Then they will adjudicate and give judgment. The law is that if they give judgment, it's binding on the Electoral Commission, unless the challenger or the challenge appear against the judgment at the High Court.
I see. The other issue that has, been a thorn in your flesh is the missing.
Nothing is a thorn in our flesh.
Not even the missing component of your BVDs.
We have handed over to professionals and they are handling that. So we are going ahead to do our work.
In terms of the investigations, what have you learned about how the devices were stolen?
It is still at the court. So it is when the judgment is given that we know that this is what happened. Any other thing is allegations.
Oh, how so? I mean, I expect or I imagine that the Electoral Commission would have its own security review of how this happened, because this was an in-house job.
Every information that we have given it to the security people. They are part of the investigation. So I wouldn't want to sit here and judge anybody. So if any other person is a suspect, when the court gives judgment, then mean that what we suspected is the reality. Then we can be speaking to it.
What were the failures that led to that security breach?
The results of the investigation and the court process will come out with it.
I see.
Because for now, we realize that some of the kids, the laptops have been taken from the kids. But I will explain that we were keeping the machines at one place with the CCTV. We moved them to another place for servicing and the rest. In between the two, there was a movement, people were involved. So that's where we had our suspicion.
Was this movement within the facility of the Electoral Commission?
From one location to another location. All
within you?
They are all Electoral Commission, but different buildings.
All right, so help me understand. What's the protocol when you need to move your logistics between one point to the other?
We have our security people, we have the state security people. They offload them, they move them from where they are stored to a center point within the same building. They are loaded onto a vehicle. The vehicle moves to where we are going to dispose of. When you put them there, they are also offloaded to where we are going to service on. So it's a form of movement. And that's where we suspect. Because like, when you've brought something into your yard, it is human beings that will carry them to this place.
I see.
Right? So we suspect that in the course of that, that's for somebody, because the other one is just a bag. So you just open, you can pick. And don't tell me that nobody has stolen from your office here before. It happens. So that is so we know the protocol. So we said no, for this, it is only you who can have access to it.
Doc, I understand that. If somebody steals from TV3, we don't have the kind of security that you have. Right. So which tells me that somebody dropped the ball within that process of checking to make sure that, this does not happen.
So that's what I'm saying. All the protocols are there.
So
I'm not concluding.
I know
assuming that the one who is in the supervising is an accomplice, what happens? So please, let's leave that to the court. Okay, but that's what I said. Immediately it happened, we knew the people to suspect.
Right.
So we gave them to the security. They have investigated and the issues before the court.
Why did they have to take the minority for the people of Ghana to know? Why didn't you tell us?
Let me tell you, since I joined the commission, whenever there's a suspicion of theft, we report to the police. The police will investigate it. Where they are convinced, they are taken to court, and some are jailed. It has happened before. When I was in Central in the 2012, it happened. Somebody was jailed, but we didn't report with any political party. Once your item is stolen, the people to report to are the security.
Right.
So you report to the security, and they pursue it. We don't go and discuss that with the political parties.
I see, but
they are more of administrative issues.
I absolutely understand, but I'd imagine that since you instituted let them know campaign, you let the citizen know as part of accountability and also to create the awareness.
You see, what you should understand is that everybody involved now is a suspect. So some items, the laptops have been stolen. We suspect ABC. We have handed them over to the police, giving them the information that we have. They will investigate. In the course of investigation, you are informing people, asking names. I don't think even if you were involved, you'll be happy. So in our case, professionally, we suspect you. We give it to the police. And we did that about 7 or 14 days before even NDC got wind of it.
I see.
So the security is, and as I speak, I don't know if you have been following the story. Some people are in before court. Yes, so let's allow the court to continue the process. Maybe in the course of judgment, we'll get to know the true stories behind them.
So in what ways have you had to review your security at the Electoral Commission since this happened? What protocols came into place?
Do you want me to discuss the security protocols in the commission? I will not discuss that.
Did you review your security protocols as a result of that?
Automatically, if you have a lock that somebody can easily open, you change the lock. So but we will not discuss the security protocols here.
Despite your saying that the devices that were stolen have no implication on your entire BVR, your BVR or your management system.
The registration process.
Yes. There are those who have said that reverse engineering could be a problem. How is the Electoral Commission ensuring that even if this was reverse engineered, there won't be an impact on the credibility of our electoral roll?
I don't understand the meaning of the reverse engineer. What are you saying, that somebody can use it to track information?
Absolutely.
No, you see, those equipment have no data at all.
At all.
At all. because they are only related to registration, as we are doing now. When we finish with the registration, we have what we call end of life. As we do registration, we are exporting the data. That's every data we are churning out, we are saying, and they are provisional. Because it is possible that some data may not be exported, they will still be on the system. So it's when you do the end of life that the system will tell you that the machine was used to register 100 people, and all the 100 people have been exported. Once you do that, the data, the machine becomes blank.
I understand. So when you said it has no data at all, I assume that these were new machines and have never been used.
No, they were the machine we used in 2020.
So the point of the reverse engineering is, despite deleting the data that had been on it already, there's a chance that people could reverse engineer whatever.
So the data will come back.
The data could come back.
So if it comes back, but Serebour is there, it comes back as Serebour, you're going to change it.
Which is why we are trying to understand what was captured on it. Has it got the ability to compromise the electoral roll?
That's what I'm saying, that when like I was taking you through, you register them. If it's online, as you register, they are exported. They are getting there. If it is offline, when you finish the registration, you export them. But still, when you finish, we'll do the end of life to be sure that every data that is on it had been exported to the database. After that, the system is reversed to default setting as it was manufactured. Nothing on it. Nothing on it.
Okay. Now, let's talk about between you and Imani Ghana, there have been two issues. Three. Okay. Now let's...
Procurement, that is, they were saying that they were not obsolete. There's disposal and SAR.
Yes, I want us to look at the disposal first. On the issue of disposal, they have said you have disposed of more than 10.
No, all the equipment that were purchased in 2020, 2012 up to 2020, all of them were declared obsolete because they were no use for 2020 and they were disposed of.
I see. Now, their concern has been with the way and manner in which the disposal was done. What protocols did you follow to make the disposals?
Administratively. The materials were in our stores. The Act of Administration would normally write, so it wrote to the Commission that we have these materials in our stores, including old vehicles and other. They were about 22,000 equipment. So we are no more using them. So why don't we dispose of them so that we can have space for new materials and the rest? So the Commission hired a state valuer, SIC VC or VI, to evaluate all of them. So the vehicles, the equipment, everything were evaluated. The report was delivered to them. Then they attached a letter to the Minister of Finance that these items have been declared obsolete. We want your permission to dispose of them. They also responded that, yes, you can go ahead, but take care that you follow all the protocols. Then the Commission selected, we have database of all the people we deal with. So we selected 6 auctioneers. Then we interviewed them. Then we picked one, Sanidani Matt. So we picked him. He advertised in the paper, in the graphic on the first of February. He advertised, then people came and they tendered for it. Then Electoral cycle at Oyarifa won those of the biometrics. And they have been accredited by EPA. So to one day won, we visited their site. We are certified with the facility that they were there. And so once they were disposed of, the auctioneers went and paid them the deposit into the consolidated fund. Our business is done.
I see. The people...
So these are the protocols that we know we should follow, and we follow them.
Okay. The question they also ask is, what is the track record of the company that ended up being, disposing of the devices? So in terms of, dealing with sensitive data like our electoral data. What is the track record of this company in disposing of sensitive data?
We went through competitive tendering. They have been certified to recycle materials. They were selected. They've done their job. So the records and the rest, I wouldn't know how to answer.
There was no consideration for whether or not
I wasn't the one who did the what do you call it, auctioning, because it's the professional valuer, sorry, professional auctioneer who did it. So once once we have handed over to the auctioneer, it is their responsibility to do the rationale according to law. It's not the electoral commission who determines who should win the tender.
No, I'm not talking about the tender. What I'm talking about is, don't you think there should have been considerations of whether or not this company that was going to dispose of our electoral data?
You have given the business to somebody. Electoral commission does not auction materials. So we have identified a professional auctioneer recognized by the state, and they have done their professional work. When you do open tendering, you are not the one to determine that you came, you won, but we want to investigate you. You don't come into the auction at all.
Do you have worry that whoever won that bid may not have had a track record of disposing of sensitive data like our electoral data?
That's why we visited the place and they have been doing a lot of recycling. So
they do recycling of hard materials, but you know the other bit of it is that this also is a sensitive data from us.
There's no data in it. So saying what is the sensitive data about it? If my phone, I want to sell my phone, just a matter of taking everything in it. Once I remove it, it is a new, more or less useless phone that goes. So every data that is on it has been deleted. So they don't contain it.
Which is why I want.
Moreover, don't forget that we have acquired new biometric equipment, which was used for 2020. So if there were to be data, it would be data which of no use, because we are now using data that were captured. Is
it really that it would be data of no use?
There was no data.
Because my electoral number hasn't changed.
No, who told you? Everything relating to registration before 2020 had been removed. So there are no more in our data, but we compare new voter activity in 2020. These kits were no use in 2020. So if you are saying data, what data are we talking about? Because the current data started from July 2020. These were materials that were used.
Wait, Doc, help me understand. Are you saying that, because new data was compiled in 2020, there is no chance that, for instance, if I was registered with that machine, there's no chance that my information could be there?
No. What the fact remains is that once you compile new data, you are no more using the equipment. Your data, if you go to commission that you want to know your records for 2019, you will not have it. Because the moment you did, you will not have it.
All right. But I guess, in order to clarify the question, so my electoral number in 2020
is different from the one.
It's different from the one before.
If you still have the two cards. Go and look at it. Go and look at it. If you registered in 1995, you were given a new card, a new number. 2024, new number. 2012, new number. And 2020, new number. They are not related at all. They are not related at all. Moreover, I said that all this equipment, they have been taken through the end of life. So once you take them to the end of life, they start afresh. That's why we are using what we use in 2013. If you are using them in 2020, it will be end of life. Other than that, if it is there, it will tell you that you have done multiple registration.
I see.
Yes. So once you flash it, everything is gone.
So even if somebody was able to get data from there, apart from the electoral number, what other information?
Data from where?
From the devices that were disposed of.
Yes. You can't get, because we said that they are blank, so you can't get in data.
No, but I'm also saying that based on the argument that
it's no possibility. So
there is no possibility.
Yes, I'm saying that once you do end of life, I will invite you when we do end of life on what we are doing registration, so you appreciate it. Once you do end of life, it becomes blank. It's like you have a phone. Once you flash the phone, maybe there's a challenge and say that they want to flash it, or every data is gone.
But even using the phone example, when you flash it, there are softwares that you are able to bring back whatever you have.
No, you don't. You not flash before you bring it up. So you do backup.
No. I'm not talking about backing it up, especially with the iPhone. When you flash it, there's always a way that there's a software you can use to bring back the information
I don't know that
you have flashed.
But what I'm saying that these ones, once you do end of life, they come to factory setting. Nothing on it. Well, other than that, what we have meant, because the system that once your records is on, there are records on it, if you add it to it, it will go there as multiple registration. It will quarantine your data. So if you don't do proper flashing, proper end of life, it will mean that the records will be there. And once the record is there, if you add, you are making the person multiple voter.
Oh, but why would they make it multiple voter?
Because the system will get to know you twice.
But the electoral number that identifies you won't be the same. So then there wouldn't be...
No, once you are on it, it is the biometric. It goes with the biometrics.
Biometrics.
Yes, so your biometric will be twice. It will identify as multiple voter.
I see. When we come back, let's talk about the ongoing limited registration exercise. And we'll look at a bit more of the controversial issues that have come up, in the last few days. Don't go away. Welcome back to Hot Issues. My guest today is Dr. Serebour Quaicoe, who is the Director of Electoral Services at the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Doc, thank you so much for your patience. On the subject of SAL, you have said that you didn't disenfranchise the people, and you've explained why.
Yes.
Imani, on the other hand, thinks that this falls at your doorstep. Why do you think that it's not your fault when you are mandated to have ensured that the people voted?
Thank you very much. The Article 47 of the Constitution has mandated us to create constituencies. So apart from the Electoral Commission, nobody else can create constituencies. On the 9th of November 2020, Parliament passed an LI that established Guan district. The law also expects that for the membership of this assembly, there should be a district chief executive, there should be a member of parliament who will be an ex-official member, there should be elected members to represent the electoral areas, there should be 30% government appointees. So every district assembly should have an assembly, a parliamentarian. Now, the LI established it. Commission was written to on the 10th of November. The commission started taking steps to have the CI constituency to be put in place. We drafted our CI, sent it to Attorney General. That is a normal thing. Any CI that we pass, we draft it, give it to them for them to professionally write it for us. When they finish, then we'll meet the subsidiary legislation committee to see the CI that we have established, whether it's in line with their requirements. Then it will be laid before Parliament for 21 sitting days. Underline that, 21 sitting days. So when we wrote to the Attorney General, they came to our attention that Parliament was on recess. They went, the very day they passed the law, went on recess, came after the election. So there was no way we could have even fulfilled the 21 sitting days for the CR to be passed. So it means that the next thing is have to go to the following year. Then our constitution also says that, Article 47 says that if you create a constituency, that constituency will have to come into effect after the resolution of the next parliament. So, in 2020, they couldn't vote. The reason why they couldn't vote was that a district had been created, they didn't have a constituency. If you wanted them to vote, then they would have voted for their mother constituency, which was
Why didn't they? Why didn't they vote in Buem?
An MP cannot represent two districts. So Buem has Jasikan as districts. So the Buem MP is a member of the Jasikan district. So the same Buem MP cannot be a member of Guan district because they are two separate districts.
But at the point, the Guan district Was it operational?
Once it has been created, it comes to effect. Once it is created, it comes to effect.
Right, so I'm a bit confused here. If the people at that time then, because of certain constraints with the CI, couldn't...
CI had not been passed, so there was no CI.
Right.
But the LI has established the district. So
and you needed a CI?
No, for the constituency, there's a difference between a district which is established by an LI. A constituency is established by a CI. So the LI has been established, so this has been created.
So what I'm asking is, you needed the CI to be able to let them vote for an MP.
For you to create a constituency.
So that they can vote for an MP.
Exactly.
Right. So if the CI had not
been established
yet, then they didn't have a constituency.
Yes, they didn't.
They didn't have a constituency, but they had originally belonged to...
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So if you vote there, it means that that MP is representing 2 districts, because now we have
one district. Is there a law against that? 2 districts cannot exist in one constituency?
No, yes, 2 districts cannot have one constituency.
Okay.
Because in other words, an assemblyman cannot belong to 2, yes, a member of assembly cannot belong to 2 different districts. Local Government Act 1993, Act 462, Section 6, subsection 6.
Okay. 6. No person shall at any one time be a member of more than one district assembly.
Right.
Right. So this is saying that you and I and anybody watching cannot belong to more than one district assembly.
So now you have one district.
No, hang on. In this case, if the people of Guan, who didn't have a CI so that they could establish a constituency for them and have them vote for an MP, were allowed to go to their mother constituency to vote, it didn't make them a member.
Not Nemo. It's the MP that we are referring to, not the people. Once you elect an MP belongs to the assembly.
Imani has come to the conclusion that this whole creation of that district and the constituency thereafter was a grand plan to ensure that by the EC and everyone else in the chain of events to ensure that Amewu got her.
Let's focus. No, Amewu one doesn't come in. Once the Oti region was created, Guan is part of Oti region. So Guan is no more part of Volta region. So unless you are saying that they should leave Oti region and go and vote in the Volta region, which is also against the law. So once you cannot, a constituency cannot cross borders. A constituency cannot belong to 2 different regions.
There is no collusion
at all, because the fact remains that, one, unless we are saying that we don't recognize the creation of Oti region. If you accept the creation of Oti region is a different region, independent region from the Volta region. That's the first thing that you said. So and Guan belongs to Oti region, not the Volta region or the constituency.
No, but part of it, had crossed boundaries.
For now, we are talking of one district. One district is, as a whole, belongs to Oti region.
I don't think there's contention with that.
Good.
What I'm saying is that, and I want to hear your reaction to that, this whole thing they think, or he thinks, was engineered to ensure that, the party of the day or the government of the day won in particularly the part of Hohoi that stayed in the Volta region.
I don't know. Are you aware that a referendum was conducted and Oti was carved out of Volta region?
I am very aware of that.
So now we are talking of individual, separate regions. You agree to that?
Was there collusion?
I'm asking you, have not answered my question.
Absolutely. I've already said that there was no contention.
So, as far as if we have conspiracy theory, it doesn't come to the Electoral Commission.
Do you also...
Electoral Commission was informed that a district has been created. We are aware that Guan belongs to Oti region, and they have been given a district. Our responsibility is to give them a constituency. But we went by the law, and we have created a constituency for them.
Do you also admit that boundaries overlapped?
Boundaries don't overlap.
When they were carved out.
There's no overlap. As I speak to you, Oti Guan district is there as a district As we are doing the registration, they are doing the registration in Oti region. So there's no overlap.
What do you say to Imani's action of going to Shraj to petition them to look into the Electoral Commission over what they believe are very corrupt practices that have taken place?
In democracy, the law should be respected. So instead of the banter, accusation, corruption, what have you, they don't think it lies in their mouth to determine who is corrupt or who is not corrupt. So if they have gone to Shraj, it's well and good. Shraj will invite us if they have actually what they call it, petition them. We will tell our story. They also tell us, they say, Shraj will come out with the verdict and you'll be here, you know what Shraj will say.
I see.
And that is in any civil democracy, if you think something has gone wrong, you use the law.
Okay. So let's talk about the registration process ongoing. What would be your assessment of it so far?
I would say that apart from the initial glitches, it has been very smooth sailing. That as we speak, we have gone beyond the 50% of the projected 623,000 that we were thinking of. So we are on course. And I believe that whoever is qualified and wants to be registered will be registered by the time we finish on the 27th of May. This exercise, looking at the numbers, could have been done within 1 week. But because we wanted to have a relaxed atmosphere for everybody to have his or her name on the register, that's why we gave the next 21 days. Now, if you are monitoring the way people were complaining about machines, connectivity and the rest, I don't think those things are coming up again. Everything has been stabilized.
Not as strongly, but there are still some areas, particularly in the north, where they still complain of network issues.
No, but see, that's why I said that if network is giving you a problem, go offline. So I don't think anybody should have any issues to this. So for now, we are not receiving. Though initially, some of the areas we heard that there were huge numbers. We increased their machines for them.
Oh, like which areas?
It happened in Kaswa. It happened in Winneba and other areas. Even in Accra here to some of the places. Yes.
I see. There have also been the issue of, people, particularly minors, being bused to certain centers to register. How has that come to the EC and what steps have you taken about that?
For the commission, when somebody comes there and you have an issue, the only thing you can do is to go to the legal means by challenging the person. So some people have been challenged, and I believe either this week or next week, the education team, which is this registration review committee, will start sitting and be agitating on that. But we have been advising those who have been bashing people that be careful, that if you are facilitating somebody's way of registering, if the person is found culpable of offense, you are also guilty because you facilitated it. So
how many of such cases would you say you have seen so far in this exercise?
The manners.
People raising disputes about someone's
so far we have almost 4,000 challenges.
4,000 across the country?
Yes, and the numbers will continue to increase.
I see.
But we are not judging. It is the committee that will give the judgment.
That will look at those. So which areas are you seeing most, coming up with
the last time
disputes?
I checked, it was Greater Accra that had more challenges.
How big is the problem in the Greater Accra region?
So Greater Accra has total of 524, which is 1.5% of the number they've registered. Northeast, that is 9, which is 0.13% of the number they have registered. You have interest in specific numbers, so I should go to.
So Northeast, there are 9 disputes to settle.
Exactly.
I see.
And Greater Accra is 524. Upper East 37. Northern region 130. Bono 43. Bono is 126. Volta 523. Upper West 104 to 106. Northern region 400. So Eastern region 400. Central 274. Ahafo 117. Ashanti 341. Western North 53. Oti 140. Savannah 37. Western 75. Total 2,935. As at the end of the 6th day.
The 6th day.
You're good.
I see. Let's now look at the issues with connectivity. Now, you're saying that the connectivity issue were mainly internet. It's not because the machines couldn't communicate.
Immediately they got the connectivity and the system started working.
Oh.
So at times you'll be working, then it will drop again. Once it drops, you have to go offline. Other than that, you cannot use the online.
All right, so explain the difficulty with the code to us.
It's like I've given you my phone. Then I will tell you that I will send you the PIN number or the password so that you can use it to open the phone and use it. So I'm sending you, I'm not here with you. It is generated at the head office and it is sent to the various regions. So the only way you can send is through the internet. So we're having the challenges there. And that one did not take much time. Then when they got it, once you access it, because if the phone is off, you open the phone will come live before the network will show that now you can use it. Then accessing the network some of them had challenges and others went through. But let's bear in mind that despite all these challenges, whereas in 2023, the first day we registered around 12,000. This year, the first day we registered around 17,000.
I see. But why didn't the Electoral Commission find need to make arrangements for to deal with the connectivity issue? No,
you may be making a call, the line can drop. And you see, the other point is that we are extra careful. I was given an answer that you build your own house because of robbers, armed robbers, you put burglar proof, and that burglar proof can at times entrap you. That is exactly what happens. We want to avoid the abuse of the system so that people, we trust our people, we've trained them and but still you may still have deviants. So do it such a way that people who want to be diabolical will not have the opportunity to do it. So we don't give them the access code a day before. We don't do that. Okay. And it's only when you have the access code before you can link it.
There have been allegations that some of your officers are also engaged in or colluding with parties, particularly
conspiracy theory. These are all conspiracy theories.
Are they?
No. If the person has done it, let us arrest the person. Then we will investigate but a conspiracy theories. You yourself.
So no arrest at all, as far as you are concerned.
Our officers, none of our officers have been
across
arrested
the entire country.
For as far as this is because I've not heard of any other. What I've heard is with some people who were facilitating it,
but not an officer.
I haven't heard it.
I see.
If you have heard anything, you can tell me.
The NDC is alleging that Muhazu Al-Hassan, who is an EC registration officer in the Pusiga Registration Center, was using a single Ghana card to register over 20 applicants.
Sure, and yes, I don't have that information. But that's when I say that once you recruit people, automatically you may have deviants. So when it is true, they have to report the case to the police, and the law will take up the issue.
Okay.
Because automatically, the commission cannot know everybody. Because sitting in Accra and the rest, we don't expect that we know everybody. So, and if somebody is doing something which is illegal, the commission will not shield the person. But
this will not be the first time that an electoral officer, at least in the lead up to the 2024 election, this will not be the first time an electoral officer is engaged. No, hang on, is engaged in an activity that casts doubt on our electoral process. Let's talk about Juso. When some electoral officers were given lunch, we have the NDC now alleging that in Pusiga Registration Center, a single Ghana card is being used to register over 20 applicants. It must come as a source of worry to the Electoral Commission.
No, we know that you will not get everybody to be doing the right thing. That's why we have a loss in the country. If me, myself, if I go contrary to the law should deal with me. Commission will not shield anybody who will do what is wrong. I'm not judging that it is true. So if it is true and the person has been reported to the police, we should allow the law to take.
What has happened in the case of the Juso situation?
We handed the case to the security. So I know Office of the Special Prosecutor is in it, investigating. Then the Ghana Police also investigating. We did the election on the 30th. I went and stepped in Kumasi. When I was coming back on the 1st, I passed to the office, and there were about 5 officials from the Office of Special Prosecutor at the office interviewing this officer and other people there. So they are, I don't know what they have got into, but where the people are found to be culpable, the law should take its own course.
Are these officers still in your employ?
They are all temporary staff, not permanent staff.
I understand.
So if it is, temporary staff are recruited for a specific job. Once you finish that job, you are not in employment.
So when you find an officer in such a situation, do you have a protocol you immediately
in our case,
institute?
Crime is crime. So once it happens, you hand it over to the police. The police will take it.
Is it making you review who you employ for your elections?
In our recruitment, we advertise in the dailies. People who apply, people who go through interviews. I believe you do the same here. But you don't expect everybody who come to TVT here will come and do what is right. So when somebody comes, knowing the protocols here, the courtesies and the code of conduct, and that, if you flout it, you hand over. Some of them, they may not be criminal in nature. You just dispose of the person. If it's criminal in nature, you hand over the person to the security people to take the necessary steps, and if possible, prosecute the person.
What criteria do you use in the selection of your officers?
If you are talking of criteria, it is subjective.
Okay.
We only interview the person. At the interview, we will ask you a lot of questions, which I will not be discussing those questions here.
Okay.
So once you are recruited, you have what we call code of conduct that you are taken through and sign. We'll give you training. All the training, everything will hammer on what the do's and don'ts of your work. Okay. And we'll let you know that if you are found foul of any of these things, the law will deal with you.
How much?
So if you look at the Josu one that you are talking about, you read that when the offer was being given, they didn't accept it.
Oh, they didn't?
Oh, if you watch it, so it was dropped on the table. And us sitting here, who took the envelope, the investigation will come out with it.
We'll move away from that. And then when we come back, let's look at some other electoral issues. Welcome back to Hot Issues. My guest today is Dr. Serebour Quaicoe, who is the Director of Electoral Services at the Electoral Commission of Ghana. And we've been looking at issues around the ongoing voter registration exercise. We've looked at some of the controversies the Electoral Commission has been embroiled in the last few days, maybe even weeks. Doc, can the Ghanaian people trust the Electoral Commission to deliver a credible election in 2024?
We have been conducting elections since 1992, and nobody has been able to overturn the results with respect to the general elections, with the exception of Rebecca Adote and Guan in the Jumakon some time ago. So automatically, the posterity will judge us. Output will show. So if somebody decides not to trust you, yours is to continue to do what the law allows you. Do what is right, and your results will
Can the Ghanaian people trust the election?
Ghanaian people trust us. No, they can't. They trust us.
You think the Ghanaian people will trust you?
They trust us.
What are you doing to ensure that the trust that you believe that they have does not, diminish? Continue
to do what is right. Continue to do what the law expects us to do. And that is the level we will do. And we will continue to engage Ghanaians, like I'm here, engaging you.
That's all?
We have been given the law, and I'm working with the law. If anybody files foul of the law, we hand over the person to the law security agencies to handle it, and they go to court. Immediately you hand over, you are not the one to go and prosecute. You are not the one to go and investigate. You are not the one to give judgment. So, and I will also say that election is collective responsibility activity. Media have the responsibility to educate and inform. The Electoral Commission has the responsibility to implement what the law is expecting us to do. The police has the responsibility to arrest perpetrators and protect people to do their normal work. The judiciary has the responsibility to prosecute and give judgment, fair judgment. The government has the responsibility to provide resources.
And what I'm asking is that what are you doing to ensure that you are able to deliver your mandate in a trustworthy manner, in that all that has happened so far, will not erode the trust the Ghanaian people have for you?
For me, I don't know what has happened that the trust should be eroded. You have not convinced me that we have committed some irregularities or crime that should erode the trust of the people. The people have committed. That's why they are.
You are not concerned about the perception people will hold based on the happenings of the last few days?
My grandmother told me something, and I always keep it. Do what is right, whether somebody is watching you or not. But don't try to wake up somebody who intentionally decide to sleep, because you cannot wake such a person up.
The position as though you are unperturbed about what could be public perception now of the Electoral Commission gives credence to what critics say, that the Electoral Commission is not accommodating or tolerant of other people's views. You couldn't be bothered.
No, when we have an issue, we call APAC meetings. We engage them, we discuss everything in a transparent manner. Most of our activities, they are part of the implementation. Like I was talking of District Registration Review Committee, the parties are there. Adjudication Committee, the parties are there. We all take decisions and implement them. You are part of it. So what else do you expect the Commission to do? So the Commission has been very transparent in all its activities.
The NDC does not think so. They say you didn't even tell them, you didn't even make available to them the electoral officers you were using for the registration process.
We agreed to the registration. There was APAC meetings at the various districts, so we asked that they should discuss those. Those things are not discussed at the national level.
I absolutely understand,
yes.
But you say a week. Should it not have been 14 days to the process?
Because of the recruitment process, it delayed. And you see, if I give you the list of people who have been recruited before training, after training, some people may even attend the training. Some people in the course of the training will have to be changed. They will be the same people who come and tell you that you gave us different name and use different names. So normally we will finish with their training, that we are sure of the people we are using, that we give them out.
So you admit that it's because of the delay you give it to them late?
Oh, I don't think we give it to them late.
No, you should give to them 14 days before.
I'm saying that.
And then you give it to them 7 days before because of delay in the recruitment process.
No, the training.
The training process. Training is part of recruitment,
it was not delayed.
it?
Training, normally we do the training closer to the activity. So people will not lose sight of what we have trained.
If there was no delay, why then didn't you give it to them 14 days?
That's what I'm saying, that if they want the list to be given to them before training, we can do that. But it will also mean that when changes come, some of the people that will give them will not be the people who will be doing the work. So it's a choice.
It's a choice. I see. There's
a choice that give it to us. We don't care whether you make changes or not, and give it to us the accurate figure about the people who are going to do the work.
Let's talk about your IPAC meetings. You mentioned it earlier. How would you say these IPAC meetings are going? Because we've heard a lot from the IPAC meetings, haven't we? How are they going?
We thank be to God that we now have full set. Everybody is participating. And as meetings are, when you go for a meeting, there will be disagreements and rest. But I don't know the decision of the majority will win. But we should also put in place that the Electoral Commission has been given a mandate by the Constitution. So we normally come out with our guidelines, procedures. Then we'll discuss with you. So when you come out with an issue that you think it can be accommodated, we accommodate them. And the party will tell you that there have been instances where we take decisions where they said, no, for this, do it this way, do it this way. We accommodate. But where it will go contrary to our mandate, we will not vary it because it will be contrary to what the law are saying. Just
before we go, I want to look at recommendations of the EU from 2020 and what progress you have made.
Do you have the recommendations?
I do have a section of the recommendations here. And I just want us to look at two of them. The first one that says that clear procedures for presiding officers, returning officers, and regional collation officers must be stipulated on how to proceed in cases of irregularities during counting and
they are all captured in our training manuals. But what we read that because they are in our training manuals, if you are not an official, you don't have access to. So what we told them was that going forward, we will upload these procedures onto our website so that you can have access to them. But in our training manuals, they are all there.
Another problem that was noted was not from the EU recommendation, but from other election observers was security.
Observers
like Quaicoe was the issue of security. So I mean, I want to ask you, your offices were attacked in 2020. I think one was set ablaze in the central region.
No, ablaze was Ashanti and Ahafo.
Ashanti and Ahafo regions. I mean, how are you beefing up security going into 20?
We have been holding a lot of meetings with the National Security Task Force, Election Security Task Force, and they are supposed to be replicating at the regional and district levels.
Okay.
So at times you learn from negative experiences. So the security people are aware, and we are hoping that these things will be rectified.
Right. We'll leave it here. Thank you so much for sitting with us here on Hot Issues. It's been a pleasure talking to you. We hope that you enjoyed this episode of Hot Issues. We are back same time at Sunday afternoon here on TV3. I'm Kemini Amano. Thanks for your company. Bye-bye.